Alright, what's up everyone? Vasileios here. Welcome to the future of life sciences and biotechnology. As we step into 2025, we're witnessing an absolute explosion of innovation. These aren't just minor tweaks, we're talking advancements poised to reshape healthcare, revolutionize agriculture, and tackle environmental challenges. The pace is incredible and the potential impact is, honestly, huge. This isn't science fiction anymore. We're seeing tools that can design drugs faster, engineer biology for sustainability, and personalize medicine down to your DNA. This convergence of biology, data, and engineering is unlocking capabilities that felt impossible just years ago. It's genuinely a pivotal moment for biotech, with real-world solutions emerging rapidly. So, in this video we're exploring the top 5 emerging trends that are revolutionizing the biotech landscape. We'll break down what makes them game changers and what it means for all of us. This is the cutting edge, the science shaping tomorrow. Let's dive in. So, first up, let's talk about something that's genuinely changing the game across almost every field, but especially in biotech, artificial intelligence, and machine learning, specifically in drug discovery. For decades, finding new medicines has been an incredibly slow, expensive, and often frustrating process. You're looking for a tiny needle in a colossal haystack. Think about it. Scientists manually sifting through compounds, endless trial and error. It's a system ripe for disruption, and AI is proving to be that disruptive force, bringing a new level of speed and precision that we've just never seen before in this space. This isn't just about making things a bit faster, it's about fundamentally altering how we approach finding cures. And here's how AI is pulling this off. It's all about processing and finding patterns in massive datasets. Machine learning algorithms can analyze vast libraries of biological and chemical information, genomic data, protein structures, clinical trial results, far beyond human capacity. This allows them to predict how potential drug candidates might interact with biological targets, like a specific protein involved in a disease. AI can identify novel targets for diseases that were previously considered undruggable, and it can screen billions of virtual molecules in silico, meaning on a computer, to find promising candidates in a fraction of the time it would take in a wet lab. It's like having a super intelligent assistant that never sleeps. We're already seeing some pretty compelling real-world examples of this in action. Several AI-discovered drugs are now entering clinical trials, which is a huge milestone. Companies are using AI to repurpose existing drugs for new diseases, significantly cutting down development timelines and costs. For instance, AI algorithms have identified potential treatments for rare diseases much faster than traditional methods ever could. And it's not just about small molecules. AI is also helping design complex biologics, like antibodies. The progress here is tangible and it's accelerating, suggesting that the pipeline for new therapies could look very different and much more efficient in the coming years. But of course, it's not all smooth sailing. There are some significant ethical and regulatory challenges we need to navigate carefully. One major concern is data bias. If the AI is trained on data that isn't diverse or representative, its predictions could perpetuate health disparities. Then there's the black box problem. Sometimes AI models arrive at a solution, but it's not entirely clear they got there, which can be tricky for regulatory approval that demands explainability. We also need robust validation methods to ensure these AI-generated hypotheses hold up in rigorous real-world testing. So while the potential is immense, responsible development and thoughtful oversight are absolutely key. Alright, next up is synthetic biology, or SynBio, and its partner advanced biomanufacturing. This is where biology truly meets engineering, and it's incredibly cool. Think of it like this. For centuries we've been biology, trying to understand it. Synthetic biology is about new biological parts, devices, and systems, or redesigning existing, natural biological systems for useful purposes. It's about making biology programmable, kind of like coding for computers, but instead of ones and zeros, you're working with DNA, RNA, and proteins. This field is unlocking the ability to create organisms that can perform specific tasks we designed them for, from producing medicines to creating sustainable materials. The core idea here is creating programmable biological systems. Scientists are now able to design and synthesize custom DNA sequences, effectively writing new genetic code. This allows them to engineer microbes like bacteria or yeast to become tiny factories. Imagine yeast that, instead of just making bread or beer, is engineered to produce valuable chemicals, biofuels, or even complex pharmaceutical compounds. We're talking about designing cells that can sense environmental pollutants and report back, or cells that can specifically target and destroy cancer cells. The level of precision and complexity we can now engineer into living systems is advancing at a breathtaking pace, opening up applications we could only dream of a decade ago. And a huge part of why this is so exciting is its connection to greener, more sustainable manufacturing. Traditional chemical manufacturing often relies on harsh conditions, fossil fuels, and can produce a lot of waste. Advanced biomanufacturing, powered by synthetic biology, offers a way to produce things more sustainably. Engineered microbes can create complex molecules at ambient temperatures and pressures, often using renewable feedstocks like sugar or agricultural waste. We're seeing this in the production of bio-based plastics, sustainable aviation fuels, lab-grown meat, and even materials like artificial spider silk, which is incredibly strong. It's a shift towards a bioeconomy, where biology does the heavy lifting. Of course, tools like CRISPR gene editing have been absolutely revolutionary in making synthetic biology more accessible and precise, allowing scientists to make targeted changes to DNA with unprecedented ease. But it's not just CRISPR, it's a whole toolkit of DNA synthesis, sequencing, and computational design tools that are driving this forward. The future possibilities are vast, from self-healing materials to organisms that can sequester carbon dioxide from the atmosphere. However, like AI, Synbio comes with its own set of ethical considerations, particularly around biosafety, biosecurity, and the responsible release of engineered organisms into the environment. These are conversations we need to have as the technology matures. Moving on, let's talk about personalized medicine and genomics. For a long time, medicine has operated on a bit of a one-size-fits-all model. You get sick, you get a standard treatment, and hopefully, it works. But we all know that different people can respond very differently to the same drug or therapy. Personalized medicine, fueled by rapid advancements in genomics, is flipping that paradigm on its head. The goal is to tailor healthcare, prevention, diagnosis, and treatment to the individual patient based on their unique genetic makeup, lifestyle, and environment. It's about moving from reactive to proactive, and from generalized to highly specific care. The engine driving this revolution is the incredible progress in genetic sequencing. Just think, the first human genome project took over a decade and cost billions. Now you can get your entire genome sequenced for a few $100s in a matter of days or even hours. This explosion in speed and affordability means we're generating a massive amount of genomic data. This data allows us to understand the genetic basis of diseases better, identify individual predispositions to certain conditions, and predict how someone might respond to particular medications. It's like having a detailed instruction manual for your own body, and it's becoming increasingly accessible. One of the areas where personalized medicine is already making a huge impact is oncology cancer treatment. Many cancers are driven by specific genetic mutations. By sequencing a patient's tumor, doctors can identify these mutations and select targeted therapies that are designed to attack cancer cells with those specific characteristics while ideally sparing healthy cells. This has led to remarkable improvements in outcomes for some types of cancer, like certain lung cancers or melanomas. We're seeing drugs that are effective only in patients with a particular genetic marker, making genetic testing a crucial part of the diagnostic process. This precision approach is a world away from traditional chemotherapy. Beyond cancer, genomics is transforming preventative care and pharmacogenomics. By understanding your genetic risk factors, you and your doctor can make more informed decisions about lifestyle choices, screenings, and preventative treatments. Pharmacogenomics, which is the study of how your genes affect your response to drugs, is also becoming more common. This can help avoid adverse drug reactions and ensure you get the right dose of the right medication from the start. The broader implications are a healthcare system that's more predictive, personalized, participatory, and preventative. A true shift in how we manage health and disease, but it also brings up important questions about data privacy, genetic discrimination, and equitable access to these advanced technologies. Alright, let's get into something that sounds like pure science fiction but is rapidly becoming reality: advances in cell and gene therapies. This is a domain of medicine that aims to treat, and potentially even cure, diseases by harnessing the body's own cells or by directly modifying a patient's genetic material. Instead of just managing symptoms with pills or injections, These therapies go to the root cause of the disease at a cellular or genetic level. It's a fundamental shift, offering hope for conditions that were previously considered untreatable, from rare genetic disorders to complex diseases like cancer and autoimmune conditions. The potential here is truly transformative for human health. One of the most talked about breakthroughs is CAR T-cell therapy, especially in oncology. Here's the basic idea. A patient's own T-cells, which are a type of immune cell, are extracted, genetically engineered in the lab to recognize and attack cancer cells and then infused back into the patient. These supercharged T-cells become living drugs, capable of seeking out and destroying tumors with remarkable precision. We've seen incredible success rates with CAR T therapies for certain types of blood cancers, leading to long-term remissions in patients who had run out of other options. It's a powerful demonstration of how we can reprogram our own biology to fight disease. Then there are induced pluripotent stem cells, or iPSCs, and other gene editing therapies. iPSCs are a game-changer because they allow scientists to take adult cells like skin cells and reprogram them back into an embryonic-like state, from which they can then be differentiated into any cell type in the body: neurons, heart cells, pancreatic cells, you name it. This opens up enormous possibilities for regenerative medicine, like growing new tissues or organs to replace damaged ones, and for creating patient-specific disease models in a dish to study illnesses and test new drugs. Alongside this, gene editing tools like CRISPR are being explored to directly correct faulty genes responsible for genetic disorders like cystic fibrosis, sickle cell anemia, or Huntington's disease, offering the potential for a one-time cure. However, as groundbreaking as these therapies are, there are still significant hurdles to overcome. Manufacturing these complex living therapies is incredibly challenging, specialized, and expensive. Scaling up production to meet potential demand while maintaining quality and safety is a major logistical and scientific endeavor. The high cost of these treatments also raises serious questions about accessibility and affordability, ensuring that these life-changing therapies can reach all the patients who need them, not just a select few. And of course, long-term safety and efficacy monitoring are crucial, especially when you're making permanent changes to cells or genes. So the science is amazing, but the path to widespread clinical use is still being paved. Last but definitely not least, let's talk about sustainability and green biotech solutions. We're all aware of the massive environmental challenges facing our planet: climate change, pollution, resource depletion. Biotechnology is emerging as a surprisingly powerful toolkit to help us address these issues and build a more sustainable future. This trend is all about leveraging biological processes and organisms to create eco-friendly alternatives to conventional industrial methods, clean up existing damage, and develop new ways to live in better harmony with our environment. It's where cutting-edge science meets critical environmental stewardship, and the innovation here is incredibly inspiring. A big focus is on developing sustainable alternatives to fossil fuels and petrochemicals. For example, scientists are engineering algae and microbes to efficiently produce biofuels that can power cars, trucks, and even airplanes, offering a renewable energy source with a potentially much lower carbon footprint. Similarly, biotech is enabling the creation of bioplastics from plant-based materials or microbial fermentation, which can be biodegradable or more easily recycled than traditional plastics. This also extends to creating bio-based chemicals, solvents, and other industrial products, moving us away from petroleum dependence and towards a circular bioeconomy where waste from one process becomes feedstock for another. Beyond just new products, biotech is offering novel solutions for carbon capture and environmental remediation. Some researchers are engineering plants or microorganisms to be more efficient at capturing carbon dioxide from the atmosphere, potentially helping to mitigate climate change. Others are developing engineered crops that require less water, fertilizer, or pesticides, making agriculture more sustainable and resilient in the face of changing climates. And then there's bioremediation, which uses microbes, sometimes naturally occurring, sometimes enhanced through biotechnology, to break down pollutants like oil spills, industrial waste, or plastics in contaminated soil and water. It's like deploying tiny biological cleanup crews. Ultimately, this trend highlights a powerful convergence, using our deepest understanding of biology to solve some of our biggest ecological problems. It's about designing with nature, rather than against it. This involves creating closed-loop systems, reducing waste, and developing products that are inherently more sustainable throughout their life cycle. Of course, as with any powerful technology, responsible innovation is key. We need to carefully assess the environmental impact of these biotech solutions themselves, ensuring they don't create new, unforeseen problems. But the potential for green biotech to contribute to a healthier planet is immense, and it's a field that's rapidly growing in importance. So, from AI-driven drug design to sustainable biomanufacturing, these 5 trends are truly propelling life sciences into a bold new era. Personalized medicine, advanced cell and gene therapies, and green biotech are all contributing to this incredible wave. The innovation is staggering, and it's happening now, promising to change our world for the better in so many ways. But innovation alone isn't enough. It's crucial we pursue these breakthroughs with responsibility, a focus on equity, and through collaboration. The ethical implications, accessibility, and societal impact must guide development. We need these powerful tools to benefit everyone, ensuring a future that's not just technologically advanced but also fair and sustainable. What biotech trend excites you the most in 2025? Share your thoughts below, I'd love to read them. And if you enjoyed this deep dive, please don't forget to subscribe for more, and hit that bell icon to stay updated on the science shaping tomorrow. Thanks for watching. Peace.